After 20 Years by O. Henry, a short story rich in suspense, emotion, and irony. It explores friendship, loyalty, and the twists of fate. Set on a lonely, windy night in New York, it tells how two friends, once inseparable, reunite after 20 years. But what begins as a promise kept turns into a haunting encounter between honesty and crime, between duty and emotion. Prepared by Manisha Mishra.
The lonely street, it was nearly 10 o'clock at night on a quiet New York street. The shops were closed, the lamps flickered, and the wind howled through empty lanes. A policeman on duty walked slowly, checking doors. The peaceful street seemed ordinary, but destiny was preparing an unforgettable meeting that would test the strength of friendship and the weight of time.
The man in the doorway. As the officer patrolled, he saw a man standing in a dark doorway, lighting a cigar. His confident stance and sharp eyes caught the policeman's attention. When asked his purpose, the man explained he was waiting for a friend, one he hadn't seen for 20 years. This encounter sparked curiosity, leading to the story's central mystery and emotional depth.
A promise made long ago. The man revealed that 20 years earlier, he and his closest friend had dinner at Big Joe Brady's restaurant. Before parting, they promised to meet again at the same spot after 20 years, no matter the distance. One stayed in New York, the other ventured west seeking fortune. The promise, a symbol of loyalty, now faced the test of time.
Introducing the friends. The man proudly introduced himself as Bob, often called Silky Bob. His friend, Jimmy Wells, was described as the truest and most loyal man alive. While Jimmy stayed in New York, Bob traveled west, taking risks and building his fortune. Yet despite his success, Bob's heart remained loyal to that one unbroken promise of friendship.
The policeman's curiosity. The officer listened patiently, interested in Bob's story. Under the glow of the cigar, he noticed Bob's pale scar near his eyebrow and a large diamond-studded pin, a mark of wealth. Bob's confident tone and flashy jewelry hinted at his successful yet questionable lifestyle. After a short chat, the officer smiled politely and walked away into the darkness. Waiting with hope alone again, Bob continued waiting eagerly for Jimmy. The cold wind brushed his face, but his heart was warm with old memories. He looked at his watch, 10 minutes past 10, yet he refused to lose hope. Friendship, he believed, was stronger than time. His faith and loyalty kept him rooted to that very spot.
The stranger's arrival. Finally, footsteps echoed through the empty street. A tall man in an overcoat approached from the opposite direction. "Is that you, Bob?" he asked softly. Bob turned quickly, recognizing the familiar voice of his long-lost friend, Jimmy Wells. Excitement and relief filled his heart. Their promise, made 2 decades ago, had finally been fulfilled. Reunion after years. They shook hands warmly, both feeling the thrill of recognition. Bob eagerly talked about his adventurous life, his travels, business ventures, and success. The other man listened quietly, occasionally adding short replies. The streetlight gleamed faintly as two old friends walked together, unaware that the night held a secret neither could have imagined. Remembering the past, Bob spoke proudly of how he made good in the West, where opportunities were vast. He admired Jimmy for staying true to New York. Their conversation was filled with laughter, nostalgia, and pride. But while Bob looked forward, his companion's silence carried something deeper, a quiet tension that seemed to shadow their reunion. Under the bright light, as they passed beneath a bright streetlight, Bob turned for a closer look at his old friend's face. The moment froze. Something was wrong. The face didn't resemble Jimmy's. The jawline, the eyes, the nose, all seemed unfamiliar. Bob stopped suddenly, confusion filling his mind, while the man beside him remained calm and silent. The realization dawns. Bob's smile faded. "You're not Jimmy Wells," he exclaimed. The man smiled faintly, replying, No, but 20 minutes ago, I was certain to meet you here. The words carried hidden meaning. Suddenly, Bob's confidence began to crumble. He sensed danger and mystery in the stranger's composed tone and secretive smile. The arresting moment. The stranger revealed himself as a plainclothes police officer from Chicago. He calmly informed Bob that he was under arrest. Shocked, Bob could hardly believe it. The officer explained that Silky Bob was wanted in Chicago for serious crimes. What had started as a nostalgic meeting had turned into the end of Bob's freedom. The letter handed over. Before Bob could protest, the Chicago officer handed him a small folded note. "It's from Patrolman Wells," he said. Bob's heart stopped for a moment. The name hit him like lightning. Jimmy Wells, his old friend, had been there after all. Trembling, he opened the letter, hoping for an explanation that might ease the sting of betrayal. Jimmy's confession. The note read, "Bob, I was at the meeting place on time. When you lit your cigar, I saw your face and recognized you as the man wanted by the Chicago police. I couldn't make the arrest myself, so I sent another officer to do it. Jimmy Wells." Friendship had met its most painful test. The pain of truth. Bob's eyes filled with disbelief. The man he trusted most had handed him over to justice. Yet deep down, he understood. Jimmy had done his duty as a policeman. The letter carried not just words, but silent agony. The emotional struggle between friendship and duty, between love and law. The twist of fate. In classic O. Henry style, the twist revealed the heart of irony. 20 years ago, Bob and Jimmy were just young dreamers. Now, one stood as a criminal, the other as a symbol of integrity. The same promise that united them had now become the line separating right from wrong. The quiet goodbye. As Bob was led away by the Chicago officer, the quiet streets of New York seemed to echo with memories of their youth. Jimmy had been there, just as promised, but duty had drawn them apart forever. Their friendship, though sincere, couldn't survive the truth that one's success came at the cost of crime. Jimmy's inner conflict. Jimmy Wells' decision wasn't easy. He faced a moral dilemma. Should he protect his friend or uphold justice? His letter showed humanity in sorrow. He couldn't face arresting Bob himself, proving that even the strongest friendships sometimes bow to the demands of conscience and honor. Duty, though painful, came first. The symbolism of time. Time in O. Henry's story acts as both a bridge and a divider. It connects the two men through loyalty, but also exposes how differently life shaped them. 20 years transformed their dreams and destinies. The meeting, once a celebration of friendship, became a tragic reminder of how choices define our fate. Bob's downfall wasn't due to bad luck, but to his moral choices. Though loyal to his promise, he ignored society's rules. His confidence and wealth couldn't save him from the consequences of his past. Through Bob, O. Henry shows that one can't escape truth, no matter how many years pass or how successful one becomes. The power of irony. O. Henry masterfully uses irony to surprise readers. The man waiting with faith for his best friend ends up being captured because of that very meeting. The irony makes the story unforgettable, warm yet tragic, honest yet heartbreaking. It's this emotional twist that gives the story its lasting power and meaning. Lessons of friendship and duty. The story teaches that true friendship doesn't mean shielding someone from justice. Jimmy's painful choice shows that duty and moral responsibility outweigh personal emotions. Real loyalty sometimes lies in doing what is right, not what feels right. The story highlights integrity, sacrifice, and the thin line between affection and accountability. O. Henry's message. O. Henry reminds us that time changes people, and life's promises often meet harsh reality. His writing blends suspense, morality, and humanity. Through the story's twist, he tells readers that honesty and integrity survive longer than wealth or reputation. Friendship may fade, but truth always remains the strongest bond of all. Conclusion and moral. After 20 years is more than a story. It's a reflection on choices, change, and moral strength. Friendship, fate, and time weave a tale of irony and sacrifice. The lesson is simple yet profound. Promises matter, but integrity matters more. In life's long journey, true friendship must walk hand in hand with truth and justice.